Okay, now we're going to look at a bathroom faucet, getting the water to run nice and clean and clear. This is what we're starting with. It works just fine. Really not, any major problems. This is more of a maintenance thing. Um, so I got a tool here to get it off without scratching it up or destroying it. A lot of times you can get down here and with two hands kind of push evenly. It'll break loose like this one just did. Although like 5 minutes ago I was trying to do this and I couldn't get it to come off, so I went and grabbed my tool here. But if you needed the tool, you just put it on there, pull it up tight, you just kind of work it around, just kind of slowly. It's not a big deal. Eventually it will come loose. Pull it out of there. It's made up of a couple pieces. It gets a little bit of corrosion on there like that. Kind of see that one. Sometimes they get really bad though, and it won't seem like it because the water will still run pretty normal. But this is one from a basement bathroom, and it got pretty gross, as you can see. I'm not sure how long this one's been since I've cleaned it. It seems like I had already done this fairly recently, but a lot of arts and crafts stuff go on around this one, so I have a feeling something got pushed up on it and it just sat there and kind of corroded away at it. But same thing as the kitchen one. Take your bag, you drop your piece in there. I use this bag after doing the kitchen one because I just throw all the pieces in there. And they just kind of, soak like that. And just kind of wiggle them around again, just make sure all the water comes out of it because they got that flow stopper in there that kind of slows the water down so you don't waste water because it's water saving technology or something. So that's what that is. Sometimes you'll have your grommet up in there, don't want to forget that. Go ahead and throw that in the banner too. Kind of feel up in there, make sure there's nothing else. Sometimes they'll shove more than one in there and you'll be real surprised to find that, somebody used like 3 or 4 of them because they just did. Don't turn the faucet on when you have this out. It will run back up inside of its own casing and could go right down into your cabinet. So it's kind of one of those situations where everybody's gonna have to stay away from the bathroom for a minute until these soak. Another thing you can do is you can buy packs of these that come in like 5. It's like $15 or something. And then you could just, put on new ones, throw the old ones away, or you could have an extra set. You leave these soaking, you go ahead and put the new ones in. The next time you swap them back and forth and you're never without a faucet. I typically replace these whenever they just get so bad that they really don't come clean and they just kind of start deteriorating and falling apart. If they can be cleaned, if you do it enough times, often enough, you don't have to worry about, it falling apart. It'll actually just stay pretty clean. But yeah, so make sure you don't turn the faucets on because it can leak down into your cabinet if you do. So we'll let these soak and then we'll come back. Like last time, 10 minutes is probably enough. I normally go like 20, 30, maybe I'll just forget about it and come back, later. Most important thing, again, of course, is that everybody knows not to use the faucet that you're doing this to. So kind of plan accordingly. Okay, so like as these are soaking, you can kind of grab them out of the bag and pull the pieces out of them, kind of get them apart. Sometimes they stick a little bit. Kind of wiggle it loose. You use a toothbrush. Hey, babe. What you doing, Louie?
Is it Mom?
You can kind of scrub these out a little bit. Yeah, they're the bathrooms. You can kind of just knock off loose stuff. Drop it back in. Pull it out.
Did you ask her?
They're our bathroom faucet pieces. Kind of scrub off the loose stuff. Throw them back in.
Daddy, can I have some of these Cheez-Its right here?
Yeah, you can sit down and have those. Okay, so you just kind of dig them out of this glass. I put it in a glass because it keeps it kind of pooled up a little better. Makes it a little bit easier to make sure they stay submerged.
Put this one on YouTube?
Just scrape it off.
Dad?
Maybe. Just kind of loosen it up a little bit. Kind of helps it move a little faster. You can see like a lot of crusty on there on that one. All build up. Part of the rock still. Kind of see that on my finger there. But sometimes I can help move it along a little quicker. Here's the one that was real bad downstairs. So the outside's already come really clean. Kind of see that all the way around, kind of come pretty clean, so I can go back in. This one, most of the black is all gone. little light scrubbing, kind of in a little circular motion or whatever. And of course, this is an old toothbrush that I just kept for stuff like this, to scrub. You see it kind of just starts crusting off. And this is only after about 10 minutes or so of soaking. So you can see it's still pretty hard after 10 minutes. Which this is a lot of buildup on this one. So it's just been a long time. Apparently a little too long. And we have really hard water, so that's, you know, another factor there. But you can just kind of keep going through them. Sorting them. Breaking off a little bit. It just helps it go a little faster. You can also just let them soak overnight, like I said. So if you do like where you buy the extras, and so you're not in any kind of rush at all, then you can just let them soak overnight, or even a day or two later come back and we'll probably just rinse off like it's floating in the water, and just rinse them all off real good, and then dry them off and have them ready for next time.
Then what is this about?
For cleaning the faucets.
Oh, again?
Well, different faucets. Yeah, so that one's got the buildup. And why that gets in one side, not the other, is because the water drips down to the low side. So when it sits in the faucet, it's kind of like at an angle. And so it all runs to the back side. And so you always get that back side buildup. So, throw that back in there. But just kind of shake them around. Make sure there's all submerged in that cup like that. So you can see there's none that are on the surface of that. So if you have to add more vinegar, you just have to add more vinegar. But most time it's enough. Just kind of leave that there and just let them keep soaking. You can keep doing that. It'll help it, like, break it up a little faster, but really it's just about waiting the time.
I should do a video about washing dishes.
Oh, okay. But that's that for now, so we'll come back here in another few minutes or so. Okay, so I took them out of the bag, and now I'm just rinsing off the pieces that we got left over. They did end up soaking probably about 20-30 minutes. So that was just as long as I was going to wait today. I am probably going to end up buying some replacements, because some of these have gotten pretty bad. I've cleaned them a couple times before. I may not have hit every single one as many times as another one. So some are worse than others. But I'm going to go ahead and probably replace 2 or 3 of them anyway. And put in some newer, cleaner looking ones so that they're nice and clean, because it's just gross to be using them if they're not. So the seals all came clean real well. No issues with those. These pretty much came fairly clean. That one's nice and new looking, so that one doesn't need to be replaced. This one, same thing, pretty new looking. A little bit of something on there. Yeah, just need to wash that off a little bit. Anyway, yeah, so that one came pretty clean. This one has some corrosion still on it, some of that calcium buildup, which I could probably just re-soak that, and maybe at a later time I'll do that to this one as well, because it's kind of still got some on there. Not a whole lot, but just little specks. And I might do a toothpick here in a second and just kind of see if that just comes out of there. Maybe it's just a little stuck more than the others. The others rinsed out really easy. Now these metal pieces, some of these are worse than others. This one pretty much came like new. Here's an example. One's got a little rough edge on there. It looks like it's actually broke through the surface of the chrome. So that one's probably just going to go ahead and replace that one just to make it all nice and shiny. Same with this one. Same issue. Kind of got through the thing there. It's still got some buildup on it. So that, you know, it's just crusting off. I might actually re-soak this one a little bit longer. But it's broke through anyway. The surface is gone. You can see it right there. So there's really not much point in spending too much time cleaning it, because it just needs to be replaced. It's just gross. This one, same thing. Corrosion's gone. So 3 of these metal pieces need to be replaced. 2 of the plastic ones I can just clean some more. So for what that takes to do. It's not a big deal. And I'll probably just put these on for right now, just so the sinks can be used. Go ahead and you know, pick up the replacements, just swap them out. You know, probably later on today, but then that way if somebody needs to wash their hands, they can. It's not that big of a deal. So I'll show you those being put back together and installed here in just a moment, and we'll go from there. Okay, so we're gonna start the assembly. The one thing you wanna pay attention to when you're assembling it or buying new ones or whatever is, you know, of course, the orientation of everything and what yours looks like and the depth and everything. So they kind of just, you know, drop in there like that. Looks like that. This is gonna be one of the ones that I replaced because it didn't come pretty clean. You take your, you know, gasket, put it in there. The depth of this piece right here, they have different variations of that, and so that's what you definitely want to look for when you go to the store and you're purchasing the new ones. You want to make sure that that is the exact same depth so the faucet works just the way it's supposed to. And just screws in there, and just hand tight's good enough. Over time they get tighter, that's why they're, you know, hard to break loose. But we're back to a working faucet, everything working on that, and that's as easy as they should really come out. And so that's the whole deal. I got a nice clean faucet there. Screws in nice. Snug it up. Finger tight's good enough. It's not going to really wobble loose. You can do it with dry fingers. Make sure you get a good grip on it. But again, when you order these or pick these up, you know, at Home Depot, Lowe's, whatever, just make sure it's the right depth. It'll also have a variance in the gallons per minute. If you can see that. GPM on this is 1.5. That's that water saving stuff again, where you can get different versions of that as well. And so you might make sure you get the same one you had if you liked it. If you wanted to try a, you know, more gallons per minute, I'm sure they have them, but you could go ahead and do that as well. So that's all that I know for cleaning these and replacing them. Make sure you replace it with the same thing that came out as far as the depth. Make sure you don't turn the faucet on when the parts are out of it so it doesn't leak on you. And then, you know, just replace as needed if it doesn't come clean. Thank you for watching.